Hi, I'm Britt,
And my name is Alissa.
and this is SkeleTales.
And this is the podcast where we strive to answer the age-old question of, is my dead grandma watching me?
That's right. We also share true tales of the strange, unusual, and paranormal. But today, we're not doing either of those things.
Heck yeah, we're not.
Oh, just kidding. We're doing all of them.
Heck no. I mean, yeah, we are. Heck yeah.
Tonight, we have a very special guest who most of you may know from previous episodes, such as Ask a Psychic. We have our first ever Psychic Splainin episode with Alex. Welcome, Alex.
Welcome,
Hey guys,
Alex.
nice to be back.
It has
Is it-
been way too long since we've had you on the show.
I know. It's been way too long.
Wait, is this only our first Psychic Splainin episode?
We
Yeah.
didn't
So we voted on it last time, and we haven't actually had one yet? Oh, this is way overdue. I was
Way
thinking this was
overdue.
our second one. Okay.
No. Yeah, so just a recap. So we did an episode 76, if anybody wanted to go in the backlog there, where it's called Ask a Psychic episode. And Alex, who is a psychic, we would ask questions and he very graciously answered them for us. And we decided that Alex is our new in-house psychic for SkeleTales. And we voted on a name. Listeners wrote in. And the name that we came up for our Alex episodes is Psychic Splainin.
Woo!
Yeah,
Well, Alex
awesome.
picked, to be fair. There were some contenders, right? And that was your
Yes.
choice. Now
Like one of them, I just remember Baltasar was one of the bigger ones, and then something about a man witch. That was good too.
That man witch one was good. That's right. Alex, to remind our listeners, could you quickly tell us a little bit about you?
So my name is Alexander Dixon, and I am a psychic medium. I've been doing paranormal investigations and psychic readings professionally for over 11 years, going on 12 now. Yeah, and I just do psychic readings and do spooky art on the side, and into everything that's supernatural and Halloween themed.
Yeah. And generations of psychics, right? You hail
Many
from
generations. Yeah,
as
I'm a
well.
sixth generation. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. So wait, what are we doing exactly today, Brett? What's the plan with the Psychic Splainin?
So I have found some stories that ask a question. And we figured that they were the perfect questions to ask a psychic. So we're
To our
gonna do
answers.
a little mishmash. We're gonna tell a story, but also the story kind of has a question too.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay. So this one is coming to us from Conscious Tiger, and they say, I don't necessarily believe in ghosts, but most of my family and friends do. So just in case I actually become a ghost someday, I was wondering what the best way to control where I end up haunting would be. As best as I can tell, ghosts are limited in range. 1, where they died. 2, where they were buried. Or 3, where they have a strong affiliation. Is that correct? What exactly are the rules here? The problem is that I don't want to end up haunting my house, and I have no idea where I'm going to die. I don't want to end up dying in the desert or out in the middle of the ocean where I'd be bored to death, so to speak, for eternity. I would much rather end up haunting someplace interesting like Disney World or the White House, something with activity where there are interesting things going on. So the question is, how do I go about this? What can I do to ensure or at least increase my odds of haunting an interesting place upon my death?
Well, that is clever. I love that. There are essentially no rules to death. We are still trying to understand, how it works. No one really knows the answers, but what I can say, just based on experiences and stories that I've heard, you're not necessarily limited to a place. For example, like you ended up dying in a hospital, you're not going to haunt that hospital because your energy wasn't there. So that goes to one of the other questions that they were asking. We as humans in this lifetime, we are, we're more like vessels. So once you pass on, a lot of people do tend to linger in areas that they were very attached to because they choose to. So, whether it's true, I know that there's a sudden death and there's trauma, then the the spirit doesn't necessarily know like what's going on. They might be playing on a loop and don't understand that they are dead and they don't have that ability to pass on. So honestly, I think that you'll be okay, just because you're so aware and mindful about all of these things. If you want to visit family, cool, but I don't believe that you're going to get stuck somewhere, just because you have options, I guess you could say.
But if they want to like play it safe, maybe get that like year pass to Disneyland. Like,
Yeah, and
tour the White House a few times a year. Like,
yeah, don't go to the desert. Don't go out
avoid
in the,
the
middle of
desert.
ocean.
You're right.
Just be cautious.
Yeah,
Be a little
live your life
conservative
like
about
you
where
want
you
to
go.
live
Yeah.
your death.
Alyssa and I, I told this a story last week, on the last week's episode of a woman who saw a ghost, who was carrying a laundry basket, doing laundry. And Alyssa and I were like, that's the biggest nightmare of all.
That was the scariest part of that
Being
story.
a ghost that it just has to do laundry all the
For
time.
eternity.
It could be that's a spirit that was just stuck in a routine. Because there are different types of hauntings too that we can get into later. But there's like residual hauntings where it's just they do the same thing over and over again in that specific spot. And there's intelligent hauntings where the spirit can communicate with you, leave that area, and even follow you home. There's certain things, there's there's no exact rules. I think everyone differs.
Not worth the risk.
Happens.
Not doing laundry anymore.
Yeah, I mean, way
Nothing.
too risky getting caught doing that.
Can't risk that. Any chores? No longer. Okay. Thanks for answering that, Alex. I've got a couple of great takeaways from that.
All right. I've got one for you. This one comes from Alert Ambassador. I'm in a Catholic mom group, and someone was picking up a bunch of board games from a Craigslist ad, like take the whole kind of lot of decluttering clear out. Included was a Ouija board. She asked what to do with it. Answers ranged from, don't touch any of those games or speak to the seller, or burn it and get your house re-blessed. Some lost it when I said to just put it in the regular old trash. I'm of the mind that Hasbro doesn't payroll a fleet of occultists to shout incantations over the pressboard machines in China. They pointed out that all the exorcists say to burn them and that they lead to possession. I realized most exorcists aren't even well known, and these are just the ones with podcasts and books to sell. This group tends to run superstitious and does things like bury upside down St. Joseph statues when home selling. I've never heard that. Or hide green scapulars in teenage bedrooms when they're worried about masturbation. They do have some great homemaking tips, though. So is regular trash okay for this game, or should I believe that it has special powers and burn that plastic pointer thingy?
So this is great, by the way. I love this question. But no, Hasbro doesn't hire a bunch of occultists to kind of work on every single mass-produced Ouija board out there.
I recently perused their help wanted ads to see if they were hiring any occultists. They were not, unfortunately.
Sucks.
I was looking for a side hustle. We talked about this a couple weeks ago on the podcast, actually, like this exact thing.
Yeah. But, I definitely think that the normal trash is safe for this. There's a lot of superstition behind these boards and just tarot cards. And, you yourself are the one who manifests that energy into these boards. You can create a piece of paper into a weapon, spiritual weapon if you wanted to, if you write an incantation or something on it. But because people are not necessarily working on it and making it a Ouija board, like utilizing it for that purpose, they should be okay.
So like the devil's not like going to possess you with a random Craigslist Ouija board, right?
No.
That's exactly how the devil would possess you. What are you guys talking? You're crazy. If I were the devil, I would definitely use Craigslist. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, easy target.
It's like
there.
Y'all are gonna get possessed with this attitude. You're reckless. We actually recently learned that I thought like it was use the opposite of burning, use water to douse the Ouija boards and the tarot cards. It was a recent story we had that brought up that question, right, Britt?
I think they were saying the tarot cards. I think her reason for not burning them was because it was like pollution because they're like kind of made of plastic, so it's not good for the environment. I don't think it was a demon thing. It was an environmental thing. It's not good for the environment.
I thought it was because of the devil spirits. Like it. You're like, this is my home. I like the fire. Give me more. Like it's giving them what they want.
Yeah.
Instead of like the water would put out the pits of hell. Right.
So as far as the water, if from doing a lot of paranormal investigations, whenever you come across water, it's very difficult for entities or spirits to cross through water. I don't know if it's I don't know what it is exactly about it, but they're just for some reason cannot cross water. So I'm assuming that you meant like submerging the Ouija board or the tarot cards in water instead of burning it. It's more than likely does not allow that spirit to kind of, or that energy to come out of there because water is just, kind of keeps it in there. Keeps them trapped.
We thought maybe it would turn it to mush. At least in the case of the tarot cards. I don't know about the Ouija board. If they're made of cardboard.
Well, if they're made out of plastic, if they're made out of, but if they're made out of plastic, then
that's not going to do shit.
No.
It's going to be waterproof. They're getting tricky over there at Hasbro.
This brings us back to that question Alyssa asked about haunting the middle of the ocean. Not likely. Like if you're, your ship sinks or whatever, like you're not likely. There's not ghosts bobbing around in the ocean.
That makes a lot of sense. So you're safe there, buddy. There you go.
All right. Solved. That's why we bring in the big guns for these questions. Okay. Is it my turn to read one?
Yeah.
Oh wait, I was looking up why you would put a Saint Joseph statue upside down.
Oh yes.
Oh,
I am very curious about both of those. Actually, the Saint Joseph's and the
green scapular. Yeah. I have to the goal of burying the statue on the property was to encourage the saint to sell their house.
Cool.
Like what? That seems like not what Jesus wanted or the Bible would have intended. Right. Like bury this. That's why he was a martyr, Saint Joseph, so you can sell your house. It's like it says put it right next to the real estate sign and for the best luck. Oh boy. And the green scapular, it's probably just going to say put a green scapular in the room and boys won't masturbate or something. That's probably all it's going to say. Like,
yeah, that's going to work.
Duh. Obviously, that's what you would put.
The boner killer right there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, depends, right? Does it have the little statue of Jesus on there? It's pretty ripped. Oh, no. Oh, it's actually Mary. Oh, no, that's worse, you guys. That's not going to do anything. They're doing
third.
It is the green scapular. I didn't know that's what these are called. They're like little felt badges that go. I think they go on the front and back of you. It's like a little necklace.
Yeah, I've seen those.
I remember those. I didn't know that's church.
What they were called.
So that's what you do when you hang those pictures of the Virgin Mary on your wall, and then people won't masturbate.
Not around your teenager's neck.
Oh yeah, put it around their neck. Better yet. Okay, well, answers.
That's not going to stop them.
Solved.
Yeah, they're going to have an interesting relationship with Virgin Mary.
The Virgin Mary.
Okay. So the next story comes to us from Zanzibar, and they say, when my mom was younger, maybe 15 or 16, her best friend was moving out of their neighborhood. They ended up stealing the street sign for the street they lived on as a going away present for the friend. When the friend was packing the last of the stuff in the car, along with the sign, my mom got a bad feeling and told my friend to move the sign and anything else important out of the trunk or it would get destroyed. My mom's friend didn't think it was a big deal, but still moved the sign and a few other things into the back seat with her. Then she was on her way. A couple hours later, my mom got a call from the friend saying that on the way to their new house, someone had rear-ended their car so badly that everything in the trunk was completely destroyed. She was baffled at how my mom knew, but my mom said it was just a premonition. Things like that and predicting people's deaths happened several times too. Like when she was a kid, she would wake up in the middle of the night and see a relative of hers, a little fuzzy on the details here, sorry, see or hear them say goodbye. So when she'd get up in the morning, she'd ask her mom if they died that night. Every time it happened, she was right. Is my mom a psychic?
It seems so. It's very likely. There are some people who are just natural born psychics. I do believe that everybody has a little bit of abilities in them, but there are some people who are just way out there, and they're just very receptive to everything. And there's different types of psychic abilities too. So for example, it seems that she could relate more to, premonitions on people dying or any unfortunate events. So her focus might be there, and her job is to help either people pass by or cross over, or just warn people of certain situations that are to come, like she did with her friend. But most definitely, I believe that she is a natural born psychic, and it's those are all the signs that you see in a medium.
I don't remember if I've asked you this question before or not, Alex. When did you first have an experience where you were like, oh, other people don't have that ability?
From my understanding, and the reason that I say that is because I didn't necessarily know what it was. It was so natural to me. It was always like a second or a sixth sense, in a sense. I didn't realize it was, I guess, not abnormal but different until maybe I was a teenager, like in my really early teens, when I realized that not everybody was as sensitive as I was to certain situations or certain things, or couldn't see the things that I could see, because it was never taboo in my family. And a lot of my family members are gifted.
It's great having a family that is so open and able to discuss it. Let it grow and thrive, flourish.
Exactly.
Oh, it's my turn. This comes from Sarcastic Flower Bud. One of my friends was given this bottle with a vanilla bean and cinnamon stick in water by this guy who was low-key obsessed with her. I remember at the time we were with two other friends, so we laughed it off and all took a few swigs of it. It tasted like shit. But recently, we'd been talking about this guy at a party with another friend and brought up the bottle, and she said he most likely made a love potion. My question is this, for real. Oh, let me see it. My question is, oh my God, I did it again. My question, is this for real? And also, is that an actual thing in the practice of witchcraft?
So 100%, I do believe what this young man gave her is a love spell, like potion or a little bottle. There's a lot of different herbs and, flowers and different things that we can use that can work interchangeably in different spells. Cinnamon is used for a lot of success and abundance. Vanilla, on the other hand, because when you think of vanilla, it's like a sweet, soothing smell, right? That is for love. So when you put these two together, it's like creating a successful love, bringing passion into this relationship, whatever it is he wished for. So 100%, he did give her a love bottle, but it's not at the intensity that people could go. Like, that was just a very, no pun intended, a very vanilla way of like making a little potion. It was just very, very like just the minimal amount that you could do for something like that.
All the friends drank from it. If it had any power or potency to it at all, like, is this fella just gonna have girls swooning over him nonstop?
No, I believe that whatever intentions were set on that when he made that, or someone did create that for him, it is possible that once this was consumed among a bunch of other people, the energy was just too sporadic, and it kind of defeated the purpose of what that bottle was for. So it's just kind of, in my experience, something like that would like kind of cancel itself out. um it's like it's no longer, it's not as potent as it was when he gave it to her, and I just don't believe it was anything but cinnamon vanilla beans after they all took a swig from it. That's my opinion. So
It seems like you can make a love potion by essentially making snickerdoodle cookies.
oh my god, I mean, who wouldn't fall in love with someone? If my wife came in here and gave me some snickerdoodle cookies, I'd fall in love all over again. Are you kidding me?
If I had to guess what that potion was going to be, I was definitely going to pick like guess a love potion. Of course, like cinnamon and vanilla, like it all sounds so like delicious and like what? Exactly. Okay, but you're saying there's like more potent ingredients, like blood, like
absolutely,
sperm. What do you put in
blood? Menstrual blood is a big one. Urine is another one. Yeah, I know. It's but menstrual blood is probably, if you're doing like Santeria and stuff like that.
Okay, that one like makes more sense to me than urine.
Yeah,
I mean, it comes
marking your territory, and then you make her drink.
In a sense, that's more. No. It's like you urinate over someone's picture. It's, trust me, it's. And then you throw it down, or you have to throw it in the river that's flowing like downwards.
Okay, wait a minute. You just glossed over this badly, a little too lightly. Okay, wait. So let's back up. So you get a picture of someone you love.
Yes, someone who you want to. It's more of being like possessive over them, or like having control over them.
Oh, so that okay. So when you said
like, hey,
it gets more extreme,
in a sense, yeah,
not in a like a love. That's like a little more like stalkery. Yeah. Okay, that peeing on someo's picture does not seem healthy for a relationship.
I love you so much.
Oh man. Okay. So that's don't do that, folks.
Yeah, there's blood, bunch of candles, hair, it's a big one too. Hair is definitely a big one.
Okay.
Photographs, yeah.
If she had been handed a bottle filled with different ingredients, and what would it be in that bottle that you would say run?
Oh yeah.
You're in trouble.
Question.
You're in trouble.
I would say like maybe like pin needles, like pins. That's a good one. Anything that's like looks like blood, any hair, anything like that. Blood, fingernails, hair.
So the normal things that wouldn't make you fall in love with somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
That would suck if then you were compelled to fall in love with someone after they handed you a bottle of their piss and hair, blood.
Too close to sublime. I don't practice Santeria, but hey, other people do. It's not my thing. I'm more on the herbalist side, so
All right. No, this has been enlightening. This is why you're here. You're here splaining things to us, Alex.
Splaining things, yeah.
So I have a question, and I'm not actually sure who originally came up with it. But they're asking, what are some different ghost rules that you've heard of? This person says a mirror should never face a bed while you're sleeping. A ghost calls out your name only 3 times, and if you respond, it can possess you. You shouldn't look back when coming back from a burial or cremation site. Women should not sit on main door of house in the evening, especially with their hairs untied. Oh, I've never heard that one before. Have you heard of any of these ghost rules, or have any that to add to the list?
So I've heard of what is it, the mirror facing your bed or something like that. I've heard of that one. That one is more of a superstitious type of thing. I wouldn't call it a ghost rule, but something that I do believe that is in many cultures is about not facing two mirrors in front of each other, because it creates a portal of sense. It creates a portal, and that allows spirits to haunt the place. So, I never put mirrors right in front of them, but I do sleep with giant mirror doors like in front of my bed, and I've never had any issues. I think it's more of a superstition. I've never actually heard of anyone in particular who has had an experience like that or say it's haunted because of that. It's so I believe that most of these are just old wives' tales and just
What
silly things.
I've got one for you. Don't
Wait, hold. Can I ask something real quick? Sorry, before we get too far away from that. Alex, have you ever seen a little flick called Poltergeist 3? Carol Ann had a lot of problems with haunting in mirrors. So you might want to check that out before you go on a podcast and say the whole thing is mirrors and ghosts in mirrors, and it's terrifying, and you won't ever want to look in a mirror again. Let alone sleep with one in front of your bed. So you might want to check that out. Please. That's your homework assignment.
All right. I'm going to go watch it.
Okay. So that's it. That was my Alissa splaining something to you about Poltergeist 3. Okay.
Oh, well.
Study.
I'm open to new ideas.
Okay. Okay. So again, play it safe. No mirrors anywhere, everybody.
Yeah.
Done.
That's your takeaway.
Destroy all.
Okay. What's your next question, Britt? Did you dig up another question over there? Dig one up?
No, I was just going to tell you some more ghost rules. This one says, don't eat dinner in the dark or you will share your meal with the spirits.
What?
I've never heard that one before.
I've never heard of that one either.
Oh,
I've never heard of any of these.
Here's a throwback one. Don't whistle at night or you'll invite spirits into your home.
Oh, I've heard
so that I not only believe in, but also, again, it could be just superstition. But I don't whistle. It's just a very just don't
irritate. Just don't whistle at all.
Just don't even at all.
All right, everyone.
No, just don't. All these listeners are gonna go like,
no mirrors,
no mirrors, no whistling.
No whistling.
Last one I've got here for you. If you want a spirit to leave you alone, tell it to get behind you. What? No, that's not the question.
Back the line, buddy.
No, this is the one I meant to say.
Whose ghost rules are these? I've never. We've heard a lot, and I've never heard many of these.
This is the one I wanted to tell. Really, if you bend over and look through your legs, you'll see any spirits following you. Ghost rule number 2.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
And can I whistle while I do it?
Oh no, then you're gonna die. I'm gonna do it. Did you whistle?
And I was looking right in the corner. Yeah, and I whistled. Nothing's there.
So have you guys heard of this one where I guess that's like a ghost rule or paranormal too? As an investigator, don't touch some of the ghost's personal possessions because it could be attached to it, and that can allow the spirit to essentially follow you home or haunt you a little or a lot. So that's one I've heard of, and that one I do believe, being careful. If you're gonna go investigating or into someone's house and it feels weird and you're touching some dead person's things, just be careful with what you're touching because these things have energy.
I have heard that with the investigations, not as so much with the attachment, but just angering and upsetting the spirit.
Yeah.
There was a mystery, brass distilling beaker or something at the end of the road this morning. And it was free if you wanted it, but it was literally 2.5 feet tall, solid.
Nope, you didn't get it?
No, it was very suspicious. What the fuck am I gonna
maybe I had meth.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know what people are distilling, but now I'm it did. I told the kids to go rub it to see if there's a genie in it, but I'm glad none of them took me up on that.
That is
They're like, no, Mrs. Williams, we don't want to.
It makes me, with the possessions though, it kind of makes me nervous to go to estate sales anymore though.
Oh yeah, you're haunted as fuck, Britt. Just like ripping through, like just digging through people's personal drawers, their underwear drawers, their
too. Yeah, I get in
just
there.
touching it all. You're like licking. Just get in there, ghosts.
Oh, this is soft. Let me put it all over my face. Oh.
Yeah.
oh, God.
Oh, you're fucking so haunted. Ay.
So there's another rule that ghosts only appear at night. And that's why a lot of investigations and stuff, they're done at night because they only appear at night. That's not necessarily true, because they're just easier to spot at night because a lot of them are translucent, which brings it to another one. It's like that, ghosts have no color, or they're like transparent. Not all of them are. Some can manifest a little stronger, more vividly than others. They can also appear in the evening, in the morning. They're a little harder to see when you're not walking around with equipment, and there's lights everywhere, and
it's like the stars are always there, but you can't actually see them during the day. Well, when we did our Ouija session over at the old Twin Peaks place, everything started really picking up once that sun went down. That sun went down, and then all of a sudden they're like, finally, we can come out. But maybe we were dealing with vampires. We didn't really ever figure it out.
That was a theory.
Who's going to notice like missing
vampires?
Yeah, lumbermen. I mean, that's a transient, like
absolutely
seasonal workers.
Easy targets.
That's a perfect. If I were a vampire, that's who I'd go after. Lumbermen.
And then come back and do Ouija with two girls that are really loud.
Yeah. But that is a good point. I feel safer in the daytime, but that may be just a false sense of security.
Yeah.
Okay, I had a good psychic question for you. Hey, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done any rogue psychic readings lately? I just always like to keep up to date on that. Like, going through, what do you have down there? Vaughn's? What do you shop at? The HEB? The Hebe?
No.
The Heb?
I recently did one. I did a rogue one. This was at one of my last events. But thankfully, unlike the last person that I went rogue on, she was very receptive to it. And, she teared up a little bit and she just thanked me for it. And so it was a good, positive situation. But let's just say not all of them are.
I know.
And it's been years since I've done that, but she was just kind of like, it was like she was teasing me. She's like, oh yeah, you're psychic and all this stuff. And then I just kind of pull aside and I was like, all right, here we go. And I just went all about it, and she just loved every second of it. And so she actually set up an appointment with me, a reading with me in the next couple of days here. So
that is a perfect segue, actually. First of all, before you tell our listeners how to get in touch for their own reading, I just want to say kudos to you for having a booyah psychic moment where she was a doubting Debbie and you come in and you're just like, let me pull you aside. Boom, psychicked.
And thank you for keeping the dream alive for those rogue psychic readings.
Actually, there was another one too. Another one of my events. This girl came by and her sister was actually doing a reading with me. And then I looked to the other girl and I said, hey, like your grandmother. And we started talking about it. And I told her, I was like, your grandma is saying that she leaves you bird feathers. And the girl just started bawling. This is not even the girl I was doing a reading for. She started bawling her eyes out. And she said, I collect bird feathers. How did you know that? I was like, because it's your grandma. It's your dead grandma. Yeah, so that was another one. I forgot about that one.
If somebody wanted to get in touch with you for a psychic reading, how would they go about doing that?
So thank you for bringing that up, by the way. So I do have a website. It is www.thirdeyealleycat.com. So it's like Third Eye Alley Cat. And that's also my Instagram. So it's Instagram at thirdeyealleycat.com. And that's the way you can get a hold of me and maybe set something up or ask me any questions that I might be able to assist you with.
Yeah, and you can contact us through the podcast too for any questions for our next Psychic Splainin.
We need to get
100%.
like a bat light for you. Like shine
Right?
it up in the sky and be like,
Yeah.
Alex, we got a Psychic Splainin question. Also, you mentioned that you were going to be at some events here coming up. Is there anything that you wanted to plug?
Absolutely. So I'm going to be doing, it's like a Krampus night market, and this is going to be December 9th in Santa Ana, California. I'm also going to be doing a Creep Icon, and this is a big one in the Inland Empire. This is going to be the first weekend of February. It's going to be actually Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Come see me, a bunch of celebrities. I know the original Scream cast is going to get together. We're going to have a lot of really cool actors and podcasters and really cool people out here. So, I'm taking a little break for the holidays, spending some time with my wife and family. But in the next coming months, I'm definitely going to have some events where we can just chat and, hang out.
Speaking of, by the way, congratulations on your new
Thank you.
nuptials.
Yes.
Married
so
man
much.
now. I'm so happy
Yeah.
for you.
Thank you so much.
Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about or plug?
I think I'm okay. Like I said, I'll be updating my Instagram. I'm trying to get on TikTok a little bit. I'm going to try and do more paranormal investigations coming up soon. I went and looked for all my equipment. I'm gathering it together, making sure what works, what doesn't. So maybe we can talk about some of those investigations in the next coming episodes.
Yes, please.
Something to talk about.
Yes. Alex, is there anything else that you want to discuss tonight?
Yeah, you know what? I'll haunt y'all later.
Haunt you later.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.